It's time to boycott Marathon and make it burn. And content creators and even Marabots are now freaking out because it's a reality that they can't stop. Let's jump into it. Scholars! Welcome to the Counselor's Office, Mr. Gaming Counselor. We've got a heated video. Man, we're gonna look at some of the shittiest content creators you've ever seen and some of the scummiest human beings to ever exist. And we're gonna continue doing our part to encourage the boycott against Marathon, and we're not gonna stop until that's right. We're not gonna stop until we let the bodies hit the floor. Not actually literally, but I mean, there'll be stack of employment papers being delivered that bodies are going to be hitting the floor. But we're talking about Marathon now. Let's talk about the jokes aside. There's actually people that are okay with bodies hitting the floor in the Marathon community. I've posted a couple times of this, but here's my general statement I made, and then this is the mindset of the Marathon community. These people are in the community, and everyone, you're going to look at more even content creators or a failed content creator that supports this. So we have my statement. Let's get something clear. Supporting Marathon will not bring you Destiny 3. That's just reality. Sony has showed multiple times that they have no interest in doing a Destiny. It's a cope and a further lie from people desperate to keep Marathon alive. Bungie not only will have less people soon, which is true, people are leaking information, but Sony has zero desire to support Destiny, which is supported by the fact that they've never said anything positive about the franchise. It's always failed in their eyes. They're putting all their eggs at Marathon. Don't let Marabots gaslight you. And guess what? We have the Unhinged Marabot Street Cat, which is funny. When you start using their comments, they blocked me, and I wonder why, because I started their name. Everyone knows who the fuck they are. By the way, if you want to come to Twitter and report them for this, you should. Let's get their account removed off Twitter. Let them go touch grass where they belong. Or actually, sorry, they need to go to an insane asylum. So sick of fucking incel tourists like you. By the way, learn what a fucking Taurus means, you jackass. Trying to destroy any chance we have of getting good games to play. Marathon is fantastic, but here you are doing your incel thing. No, I'm going to absolutely take the biggest shit on top of Marathon. Making up acronyms and writing manifestos. No, but I do have a backronym. Is this good enough for you? Because this is what this is you. Blindly adoring Lucy, lovingly fond of our new drops like eager retards. That's this guy right here. Anyways, and writing manifestos. This is the part. Just go shoot up a school already and leave us alone. Yes. Encouraging you're up top. I'm talking about a video game, and people are getting upset that you're telling people go shoot up a school full of innocent children. Go kill a human. Go to take human life. Go kill children. Holy shit. And of course, when you start telling them to, calling them out, that's when they block you. Or did they block me? Oh, he unblocked me. No, he did block me. That's right. I can reply to myself, not him though. But yeah, so you know what I gotta do? I start spamming this shit everywhere because I'm going to put fuel on the gasoline. I'm going to watch everything burn. I'm going to, pull out all the horrible people for this community, and it's like flies to a pile of shit, and they have been coming out. I'm kid you not. I post this on this random, account that continues to poke the bear. I jump in to poke the bear. Bro, are you genuinely retarded? I mean, seriously, this is like CNN level narrative framing. You're an idiot, bro. Like, genuinely retarded guy. Who would buy this? You grandpappy on a hospice? I mean, telling people to go kill children is retarded, and you're a dumb bastard for minimalizing. I wish you were on hospice and one less piece of shit who thinks it's okay to make a joke about Schultz. Yes, Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm going to always be vitriolic. I would rather you get hit by a bus than promote killing children. I do not care. I will always choose the children. If we needed to give a hostage, I would give people like this. If I had to choose between a dog and a human, this is one of those rare moments where I would save the dog, because this human is a waste of space. No one is legitimately telling you anyone to go kill kids. You're virtually saying just as bad as anyone. Gay and lame. He literally says, just go shoot up a school. That, like, he literally says, stop talking about my game. Just go shoot up a school. Read the bottom line. Thanks for the YouTube clip. Yep. Shout out to Dom Rock for being a human piece of shit. Burn in the depths of hell where you belong. Street Cat, burn in the depths of hell where you belong. I hope you get arrested and then bumfucked like you deserved. Then we have our favorite failed content creator that got, called out for attacking, for lying. And, we completely broke down a video that showed how much of a liar this person is. He posts a thing that I had said about a dog. A dog, the whole, the dog that was Archie, that dog died. And I made this very, it may be unsavory, but it's so damn true now. I said on this Distero about the dog model that died. I said, don't worry with how Bungie's treating Destiny 2 right now. Archie will be following along shortly. Sony might take the old dog out back and finish him. And holy shit, I'm telling you, in February, I was ahead of the game. I'm telling you, people, it may have been unsavory. It may not have been like people didn't like that I said it, but I was right. I was fucking right. And then I tell them, nah, delete my attach post. The dog wasn't secure and people just don't shoot dogs immediately, which is true. Most people generally don't shoot dogs because the dog that died apparently got shot. By the way, I did make a video apologizing and saying, you know what, I was wrong, and I read the whole thing. So I took ownership of it, just so we're clear. I bet this was ongoing. I have no empathy for bad dog owners. I don't, and you shouldn't either. I've ran over a few dogs that darted out in the middle of the highway. Secure your dogs or don't be an owner. What part of this is not a sane, normal conversation? Out of 33 years, I've hit 2 dogs out in the highway in the countryside. And of course, this is why people like this, they don't care about the dog. They don't care about children. In fact, they care more. They apparently care more about a dead dog than they do about people encouraging people to go shoot up a school. So Jingleheimer is pro killing children. And the first thing you think about is, hey, what about the dog? What about the dog, man? What about the dog? What about the children? Yo, you sick fuck. I call him out, right? I like this. I'm glad that there's someone normal in here. Kind of odd this is what you comment on and not the prior go shoot up a school comment. Thank you. There's hope on the internet. There's hope on the internet. Holy shit, thank you. There's hope. And of course, we've got Gobble My Hawk, another person that probably needs to go be sent to the depths of hell. Calling you a school shooter is a joke. That fits you and your personality. Bragging about running over someone's dog isn't cool. I have no empathy for bad dogs I've ran over. Again, people like this, see, that's why you can't have a normal conversation with these people. They're unhinged. This is why and they know they're losing, right? They know they're losing. Marathon is dying and they're terrified and they're doing everything they can to discredit people who are actively pushing that for the downfall of the thing that they desperately want to cling to. They're emotionally manipulating, distorting the truth because they want to desperately try to fight back. They're like a dog in a corner biting out, desperately trying to stay alive. Now back to your daily dose of burn it to the ground. It's funny. People crosses return notification and it's finally live.
He's back. He's back!
All right, I just gotta stop that. All right, let's go to this next one. Let's listen to this. I'm calling it the apex fallacy. Oh, I love this. I love this trend with Aztecross right now.
The counter is that Sony would be proven right by the Marathon pick, and they only invest more in Marathon. That might be true, but this seems like the least worst option since the other one could mean Bungie closing altogether. Titanfall players, how you guys doing over there? Did playing Apex work out? It's a good thing you played a lot of Apex. Yep.
immediately. And this is the funny thing about the whole situation is that these Marabots, you provide actual evidence, actual examples, and they lose their fucking mind, and they will try to do this mental gymnastics of trying to distort, to try to weasel in try to get a win, even though it's like you can win a conversation on Twitter, it doesn't matter. You're still gonna fucking lose when marathon numbers drop down the toilet.
Committed many years. I know it's a sore subject. You see where I'm coming from this? At one time, I saw the same narrative being peddled. Oh, you play enough Apex. Well, eventually that will allow the studio to make another Titanfall. And what happened? Well, we just got more Apex. And not that I'm taking anything away from Apex. Apex, well, it's a wildly successful game, unlike Marathon. I know. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings today. I'm really not, but it's true. Now, some people want that.
Sometimes the truth hurts.
They want Bungie to be punished, both for how the game has been neglected in favor of Marathon since the final shape, especially, and for the fact that Marathon now has Sony's favor, while their favorite game is dead. Now, I'm not telling anyone what to feel. I, too, have that anger, as this is the most significant game of my entire career. My life, really. And losing it is devastating. But trying to be pragmatic, I don't think that wishing death upon Marathon helps the situation at this point. I do not, however, think that these players need to all go buy and play Marathon. That's not a reasonable demand if people simply don't like the game. And they don't owe it to Bungie to do that. But I think there's a difference.
And that's a good point to transition to. I think I got it working in. I don't know what I paused or what I didn't pause. So this video might be jacked. But here's a comment. You're 100% right. Our role as a consumer is to consume. This is a response to talking about how, it's not, we shouldn't feel bad about, the whole situation, which we're going to react to Aztecross in a minute. But generally, our role as a consumer is to consume, and dev role is to develop product we consume. If the product quality diminishes, so too does the reason to support it. And I said 100% this is how it's supposed to work. It's a privilege to exist as a business, not a right. Don't let anyone on the internet make you feel bad for boycotting Bungie or Marathon or wanting it to fail. That is not your job to give a shit whether people have a job or not. It is not your responsibility. And guess what? Consumers, by nature, are selfish and entitled because that's how they exist. Businesses only exist to satisfy the desires and needs of the consumer. They have to give the consumer what they want in order to exist. And if you don't, you get fucked. But people, again, it's all manipulation, emotional manipulation. No one owes a corporation anything. People lose their jobs all the time. It's not the consumer's responsibility to keep the doors open to businesses. Hell, you go through your city, you're going to see multiple probably shops that are closed down. Are you going to sit there and cry? You gotta cry, oh my God, they lost your job. They don't give a shit. People without the human species, how we are, is that most people do not give a shit unless it's within their direct bubble of reality. If it's not in their, that's why they act like they care, because it's Marathon and it's within their direct bubble. But they don't give a shit about people losing their jobs. There's corporations. Hell, Sony shut down multiple studios and hundreds of people lost their job, but not damn one of them are out there giving their paycheck to support those people. Not damn one of those are those people who are like, oh my God, I can't believe you're trying to shut a game down and you're gonna hurt people and blah blah blah. They're not out there writing letters of support to these people. They do not give a shit. Just like we talked about the dog. They don't give a shit about the dog. They don't give a shit about children. It's all about their little bubble, and they feel threatened. It's emotional manipulation. They do not give a shit about anything that they're trying to project like they give a shit about. They don't give a shit that people are losing their jobs. They don't give a shit about dogs or children. They don't give a shit about none of that. All they care about is making sure that their precious little video game isn't shut down by the giant wider game audience that has been, holding Bungie accountable for their shitty decisions and flipping Sony off for shutting down a game that people wanted, to continue to exist and or support into the next iteration, which they're not doing. So let's see what Aztecross has to say. But yeah, never buy. Do not feel sorry. Be an asshole. Make fun of these people. Make fun of them on Twitter. Piss them off. Do whatever you got to do. They are just emotionally manipulating people. Do not buy into it.
Essentially, completely walked away from Marathon. Fucking crybabies. Well, objectively, Destiny is a better game.
Yeah.
And it's our game. And
that's people are like, that's you objectively. Yeah, you look at the data, you actually look at the player count. See, Marathon will die. It will die. It will go into the grave with people continuing to deny that player count matters, that the data matters. It will go into the grave, and it will be the biggest meme for the rest of these people's lives. Hey, remember that game that died? Yeah, because of the player count. Yeah, that whole community that got triggered every time they saw a Steam chart graph. Ooh.
You know, we don't want to play Marathon. Not to the extent that we play Destiny. I don't want to play Marathon. No, I'll play it maybe seasonally. I may jump in a few weeks. But I want Destiny. I want Destiny 3. I want this universe expanded. And Marathon, if I have to fucking bury you myself to send that message, I shall. I will do everything I can to destroy you, piss on your corpse, and light you on fire afterwards. To send even the smallest of messages to Bungie leadership and Sony. I know what I'm saying right now won't bode well for me in the future. Believe me, we have Sony partnerships, sponsorships, and I appreciate playing those games and having those relationships. And from this point on, well, probably not going to be good in that aspect. I've even had discussions already with my agency and everything else. So, but I want Destiny. So this is a personal decision. Probably not a good overall decision, but it's a personal decision. And I only got into this thing because of Destiny.
You know, people want to make fun of Aztecross, and I've made fun of him how he flip-flops. The fact that he went so as far to unveil what we've all been saying about Bungie content creators, they stick to a certain line of criticism because of the deals. And people don't realize that working with a corporation has so many networking opportunities. And he literally whipped out and put his dick on the table and said, fuck it, I don't care. Talking to his agency saying, you should expect this not to go well for me. That is big dick energy. And if more content creators do this, and you know, I'm a little guppy in the big pond, but I'm still putting out the little guppy dick out there. I said what I said. But yeah, we could one day I'm gonna react to this and it be a video, because there's so many people who are pissed at him. And now we have content creators. So we have other content creators that are losing their shit. They are breaking down. Mylan going, Scorched Earth was not on my bingo card. Can't we all just get along? And so, in saying this is an insane reaction, but saying good luck with a cohesive story if D3 ever happened, like we weren't all watching Bife anyways, is crazy. So we have, to quote Aztecross, was switching Destiny and Marathon. I don't want to play Destiny. I want Marathon. If I have to fucking bury you myself, send that message. So he's just repeating what Aztecross said about Marathon, but with Destiny. Then work together. Y'all want this war between Marathon and Destiny? Yeah, we do, because Marathon's losing. I mean, you can say Destiny lost, but hey, mutual destruction, right? At this point, mutual destruction. You don't realize if someone does have nothing to lose, they will make you lose too. Welcome. It may be, you think it's petty? You're damn straight it's petty. We do not give a shit. Do not give a shit. This is a war you will lose. On that note, I have privated 10 years. I used to like Mylan, but now I get a feeling that he's just a jealous bitch because he mentions better not piss off Bife. He's the last source of comprehensive lore. I don't like. He's so fucking pissed. You can tell Mylan's so goddamn pissed because people have been calling him out. But to talk about you privating 10 years of lore and tell them good luck with that. Okay. I mean, he's not wrong. The bottom part's not wrong, but you know he's coming from a pace. Even fucking Scarrow's loot breaking the fuck down. Bungie's biggest dick sucker is literally crashing out. Mr. Everyone's a Nazi who disagrees with me. I've got friends at Bungie. The Destiny community is insufferable, but hey, you know, the Marathon community is so sick, guys. They're great conversations. You can have great conversations. And I'm taking a page out of Aztecross, putting gas. I'm just being insufferable. Just so you know, I'm not even like, I'm just trying to put gas on the fire. So it's official. Marathon is doing an open play week, which is, you know, they're fucking desperate. You know that Bungie is desperate. No one does a free fucking week at the launch of a season. A whole week. And people are already coping. Most online shooters have free weekends, but it's hardly desperation weekends. Not the entire week for a brand new season. It's desperation. There it is. Yeah, I'm gonna like that so I can put that in the thumbnail. This screams of good decisions. You're just recontextualizing because you're not a good faith actor. Nothing I said was the reality is the numbers don't die, and people are getting so pissed. Crazy how you bots can only reply with charts. Your whole brain could be encapsulated in lines of code. You were literally recontextualizing. As free open server during the launch of a season is a desperate attempt to bring in new numbers, which after the week is over, we will see the reality of the situation. You can argue against data, because you have nothing. You are upset that you have nothing. The fact that even Sony said Marathon didn't meet expectations screams volumes, which explains this attempt to boost numbers. And that's the reality. But anyways, I'm just, I will fucking suck your dick. I got that. They're so mad. It's like it's literally flies to shit. Flies to shit. First week of the new season, you're desperate to make it free. Yes. Holy shit. They're so like, people are so pissed, but I'm going to continue. I've been on it. And then we have True Vanguard. Oh my God. Talk about the most self-righteous prick I've ever seen. I don't know, actively campaigning against a game out of spite really seems childish to me. Yeah, it's childish to you because it's a game you like. Isn't it funny? Again, you think it's childish, but it's only childish because it's a game that you benefit from. Isn't that funny how a lot of these content creators jumped ship from Destiny and started maining or playing, you know, Marathon or still continue to support Bungie? Isn't that funny? I'm not trying to force anyone to play Marathon or like, but it's actually a really good game. And I hate for people who do love it to end up having their game struggle just because the negative sentiment is so strong among the people who aren't engaged with it. Well, you're about to get fucked. So enjoy that. Both things can be true at once. You can be gutted that Destiny is ending, and you can quietly not be interested in Marathon. Guys, I want you to just stop talking about Marathon. Be upset in the corner. We just took away the thing that you love. Sit in your corner, Timmy. Shut the fuck up. You can campaign in favor of Destiny's future, and I'm 100% with you in that effort. And you can also not add fuel to the flames when it comes to campaigning. And by the way, this statement, this most self-righteous prick, literally is putting gas on the fire. Next time people boycott something out of the street you think is childish, make sure you tell them to do so quietly. You may not like how people boycott Bungie, but you don't get to decide how people do it. The self-righteous privilege of content creators is what is childish. And this is true. This self-righteous prick is so privileged that he doesn't realize that so fucking privileged. He doesn't realize that it's so easy for him to just hop to another game because it's his job versus people who invest time, money, and, you know, effort as just a gamer, because he's not just a gamer. He's a content creator. It's his job. You could play games, but as a job. These can be two things, but they're still exclusive because the perspective you have is not the same as someone who just plays games for a hobby or for fun. He doesn't realize how fucking privileged he is. And this is me putting fuel on the fire. Me putting fuel on the fire. Funny how you're using this image to mock someone who helped bring you the game you claim wants it back. Joke's on you. I don't think for a second current Bungie can do Destiny any favors. The IP is better to be given to a different studio. if the Bungie who made the most critically acclaimed expansion can't do Destiny any favors, I don't think any other studio is going to get you what you want, big dog. If you're talking about Forsaken, Bungie had 2 other studios and the backing of Activision. It wasn't even Bungie alone. Trust me, other studios can do it. But again, here we got more people boycotting something out of spite after admitting you enjoy the game is childish. Please show the people out the streets boycotting something like boycott against Cracker Barrel. And I use this. This is a perfect example. People and I thought it. I'm gonna be honest. I think it was stupid. Boycotting over fucking Cracker Barrel logo was fucking stupid. But the whole argument, I'm asking you to show people boycotting something they like. It's crazy that this entire argument was. This whole argument was about boycotting things people like. People boycott things they like all the time. Nike, hell, Budweiser. There was the whole thing about Budweiser. People boycotted Budweiser, which they love to drink, but they boycotted buying it because of like, I hate to say, be very crude. It was like some gay stuff or something like that people were bitching about. I don't know, man. I don't remember. Something along the DEI stuff. I know that's really crude of me to say, but I don't even remember what the bullshit was. But people were bitching about that for Budweiser. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was something else. I don't know. Maybe it was because it was feminized. I don't know. But anyways, the point stands that people boycotted that. They boycotted Cracker Barrel, the logo. Or at least they boycotted the buying and eating the food because of the logo. Like the idea that people aren't boycotting anything and everything, by the way, like welcome to America. We'll boycott food, the government, and your own children. Boycotting something out on the street isn't really a fair comparison. Throwing hate at a game developer on the internet, but I know we live in some strange times. A boycott is a boycott. You don't get to choose because it doesn't fit your fancy. That's the reality. A boycott is a boycott. Boycotts are meant to be different things, but people want to be intellectually dishonest and act like boycotting $1 billion company and its product is something new, and it's not. People do it all the time. Again, you are doing mental gymnastics because you're wrong. People love Destiny. Again, Destiny is a perfect example. People literally, and I'm telling you, literally boycotted Destiny because of microtransactions. They love Destiny, or how Bungie's been, treating Destiny the past couple of years. People boycotted Destiny itself. Like, we have a perfect example of boycotting things that people like. They didn't boycott the food. They boycotted the logo. They boycotted the food because of the logo, you jackass. Again, people, these are people, they don't want a serious conversation. These are people that are straight up trying to do mental gymnastics. They're trying to be intellectually dishonest because they're trying to get a win, which is weird because it's just Twitter and I'm just using it for content to make fun of these people and show how retarded they are. But yeah, by the way, no one could give a counter argument. Imagine that not one of them can, all these different examples, no one could give a counter argument to any of the statements. It's always that way. It's always, let's just go into talking about, completely skip the argument. No one talked about Destiny. That was a perfect example of like, hey, Destiny is a perfect example of liking something that people actually boycotted. All right, so we already looked at this guy, but it keeps going. By the way, if you really want to trigger people, start putting in charts. Showing cheap charts and saying we got to hurt them bad is just coming off as childish. Centrists are the only way to keep Destiny, Marathon, and Bungie alive. The Civil War is only going to kill all three of them. Then let them burn. Let them burn. Let it burn. Let it burn. There you go. Anyways, more content creators boycott. Again, we talk about this, but we have another content creator upset. Most people boycotting on the street are doing it in favor of specific human rights movements. By the way, that's not the only reason you boycott. Again, we talk about Cracker Barrel's logo or Budweiser. Human rights does not have a movement only to where people are on the streets. the rights that affect people's livelihood, games made for leisure time. Again, you don't get to decide what people boycott and how they boycott it. People boycott all kinds of different things. Calling someone a self-righteous content creator for pointing out immature behavior with a community is insane, considering content creators started this said boycott, which is funny. Because I say also, people have been boycotting Marathon before Cross even said a thing about it, and they actually started ramping up after the news. Cross just put gas on the fire that was already going on. By the way, you don't this dumb bitch, you don't want to listen to her because she's over here. Marathon didn't force Bungie to introduce Edge of Fate, a portal system, change all stats, make Caldera. All this is pretty true, by the way. They completely reworked so many things. This is true. And for a lot of people, Destiny kept moving forward for the original core. This is also true. They continued to ignore the community's feedback and kept it getting worse. This is also true. I feel like people on this app have rose-tinted glasses when they think of Destiny. It's not from a shift of resources. Destiny 2 is not the Destiny we loved years ago, which is not true. It's funny when content creators say this about resources when Bungie had to remove devs from Marathon. Again, another argument they can't argue against. They removed, remember the final shape had to be delayed. They had to remove developers, some of the most experienced developers from Marathon to work on the final shape because it wasn't good enough to ship with the lack of developers and resources. This debunks this argument. Yeah, because they laid off a bunch of people on the Destiny team. You do realize that proves my point. Devs being removed is a loss of resources. Your point was Destiny team didn't have resources and staff needed to ship the product, but the reason they didn't had nothing to do with Marathon. It actually did, because some of the key people that made Destiny were pulled to work on Marathon. Experience is a resource. How retarded are you people? When you have the most experienced developers that made the core Destiny experience and you remove them to play and make another game, you are removing experience. You're removing resources to make that game good. Holy shit. How fucking retarded are these people? Again, this is them. This is them, the ball fondler, blindly adoring losers, lovingly fondling our new drops like eager retards. Wait, another AI dog shit post thinking anyone could take this seriously. It's actually, people are taking this seriously. People are making fun of them. People are absolutely shitting on Bungie and Sony for all of this. So you can get mad at a little AI thing, but it doesn't mean it's not true. Hot take. Marathon fans are about to get exactly what they fucking deserve. You are. You're about to get exactly what the fuck you deserve. I'm not playing Marathon so that it dies and they're forced to make Destiny 3. This is one of the most brain dead takes I've ever heard. Have you been paying attention to Sony? They won't force them to make D3. They'll liquidate the studio. Quit praying for the downfalls. Nah, liquidate that shit. Liquidate that shit and give the IP to a different studio. At this point, burn it to the fucking ground. Calling for a truce between Marathon and Destiny. At this rate, we're building to our mutual shared destruction. We are already there, baby. That's right. Bring it to the fucking ground. Bring it. Delroth, I really stand by a lot of big content creators telling people who are like, but Marathon is getting a PvE mode. To fuck off. The community will support Marathon way less because of the Destiny stuff going forward. I will never play it again, ever. Period. Nope. They're literally trying to hand fist PvE stuff into Marathon because they realize that's what people like, instead of supporting the thing people like to begin with. Done. True based. If you want Marathon to succeed, abandon the Destiny fan base, expecting them to move on is the wrong way. Marathon is no replacement. Not once has a Destiny fan in my circles asked for an extraction shooter. It's a tone deaf approach by leadership. It was the wrong move. We have Destin saying, I know I'm angry about the Bungie situation, almost don't even want to touch Marathon until it's confirmed Destiny is not dead. Killing off a series I have 10K hours and covered for a decade, it's the wrong move. If you want D3, then support Marathon. Listen, as someone who likes Marathon, we support Destiny 2 for 9 years. Begged for D3 for like 9 of those years. But all of a sudden, I'm supposed to believe that supporting Marathon will get us D3. Our brains are shrinking. Well, they're shrinking, and we're also, they're encouraging people to shoot up schools. So there it is. That'll be. This is where we are. This is the Marathon community. Continue to shit down their throats. I'm doing my part. I'm on Twitter, continuing to poke the bear. Oh, hey, at least they're copying Tarkov's homework. Good job, Bungie. Now keep doing arc raiders. I'm continuing to put gas on the fire, man. Continue the fire. I'm going to be an asshole piss people off, post charts, do it all. Do everything to make people as unhinged as possible. And it's because it's fucking funny, first off. Secondly, they're making themselves look bad. So here it is. Sound off. Hit the like button, comment down below. Let's continue the boycott boycott marathon. Burn it to the ground, baby. As Homelander said, scorch and earth, shock and all, blood and bone. Let's do this thing. Let's keep building momentum. Let's fucking do this thing. I'll see you guys next one. And for the haters out there, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just gonna be driving my new car and thinking, damn, you fucking failed, like you failed marathon.